Today, as we gather our thoughts around the 27th of November, we step into a moment that carries more than just a memory, it carries a profound weight. It's a day marked not just by what happened, but by what it reminds us of. It's a day that compels us to slow down, to breathe a little deeper, and to reconsider how we measure life, how we define our purpose, and how we understand the fragile thread that holds our existence together. On this date, the world of cricket, and indeed the larger world, paused in disbelief at the loss of Phillip Hughes. A young athlete, immensely talented, incredibly disciplined, and filled with immense promise, was suddenly taken from the field where he had dedicated years of his life. His passing was not only a tragedy in the world of sports, but a moment that struck a chord in the human heart everywhere. Whether or not you followed cricket, the news traveled across continents because it wasn't just about a sport, it was about life itself. And so today we dedicate these words to the memory of a young man whose journey ended far, far too soon, but we also dedicate them to the lessons that such moments, despite their overwhelming sorrow, insist that we confront. There is a certain silence that follows loss, a silence that doesn't merely fill the room but settles deep into the human spirit. It is the silence of reflection, the silence of questions that have no immediate answers. And it is in this very silence that we begin to understand that life is not measured by its length but by the substance of its days. We begin to understand that talent is a gift, but it is discipline that gives that talent its shape. That opportunity is precious, but the time we have to use it is never, ever guaranteed. Phillip Hughes was a symbol of dedication. From backyard nets as a child to the grand international grounds, his life was shaped by an unrelenting passion and a tireless effort. The path to professional sport is never an easy one. It demands years of unseen discipline, countless early mornings, and the courage to face failure time and time again. His rise through the ranks was no accident. It was built on grit, on consistency, and on an unwavering love for the game. And yet, even such profound commitment could not shield him from the sheer unpredictability of life. And that is where the most poignant lesson lies. For all the control we think we possess, for all the carefully laid plans, the schedules, the goals, we are constantly reminded that life retains a certain mystery, a certain unpredictability that humbles even the strongest among us. This is why days like today are often called black days, not simply because they bring grief, but because they force us to confront truths we often prefer to avoid. They make us acknowledge that strength can be interrupted, that talent can be silenced, and that the beautiful rhythm of a life can stop without any warning. But at the same time, these days press us to live more intentionally, more gratefully, and more meaningfully. The legacy of Phillip Hughes isn't just about the runs he scored or the matches he played. It's about the spirit he embodied, the spirit of a country boy who dared to dream big and worked tirelessly to make those dreams a reality. His story reminds us to cherish the journey, not just the destination. It reminds us to celebrate the small victories along the way, to appreciate the people who support us, and to play every inning of our lives with heart and with courage. In the aftermath of his passing, the cricket world came together in an unprecedented display of unity and grief. Bats were left out on porches, caps were hung on gates, and tributes poured in from every corner of the globe. This collective mourning showed that while sport can be about competition and rivalry, at its core, it's about community. It's about a shared passion that connects people across borders and backgrounds. The hashtag 63 not out became a symbol not of a life cut short, but of a spirit that continues to inspire. It speaks to the idea that some contributions can never be erased by time. So how do we honor a memory like this? We do it not by dwelling only on the sorrow, but by embracing the lessons. We honor it by living our own lives with a greater sense of purpose. We honor it by being kinder to one another, by pursuing our passions with the same fire that he did, and by never taking a single day for granted. We honor it by remembering that every moment we have is a gift. It's a stark reminder that our time here is finite. It encourages us to mend broken relationships, to say the things that need to be said, and to chase the dreams that live in our hearts. Don't wait for the right time, because the only time we are truly guaranteed is the present moment. Let the memory of Phillip Hughes be a catalyst for positive change in our own lives. Let it inspire us to be better, to do better, and to live more fully. Let's take a moment today to think about our own passions, our own goals, and the people we love. Are we giving them our all? Are we living with the same dedication and joy that Phillip brought to the crease every single time? His story is a powerful call to action, a call to live with intention, to love without reservation, and to leave a legacy of passion and kindness. The silence that this day brings is not an empty one. It is filled with remembrance, with respect, and with a quiet determination to live better. It is a silence that speaks volumes about the fragility of life and the enduring power of the human spirit. Today we remember Phillip Hughes not for how he died, but for how he lived with passion, with dedication, and with a love for the game that was truly infectious. His spirit, like his final score, remains unbeaten. It remains 63, not out forever in the hearts of those who knew him and those who were inspired by him. Thank you for joining me in this moment of reflection. Let's carry these lessons with us, not just today, but every day. Live fully, love deeply, and never forget the preciousness of the time we are given. If you found this message meaningful, please consider subscribing for more content that aims to inspire and reflect. Until next time, take care. A tragedy becomes a teacher when we choose to listen. Today, as we reflect, we do not do so merely to mourn. We reflect to understand, to learn, to extract from this moment a deeper appreciation for the lives we lead and the relationships we hold. Philip's story reminds us of the beauty of commitment. He showed us what it means to pursue excellence, not for applause or fame, but because excellence is a worthy pursuit in itself. He lived with passion for his craft, his focus, his seriousness, his humility on and off the field. They inspire a kind of living that values effort over outcome in a world that often celebrates shortcuts. His journey was built on patience. In a world obsessed with speed, he embraced steady progress. In a world that sometimes forgets the value of preparation, he respected the process. This is a lesson worth remembering. There is another dimension to this day, the reminder of how deeply interconnected we are. His passing brought together players, fans, nations, and communities. It showed that human loss crosses boundaries. It revealed how much one life can touch countless others, not always through grand gestures, but through consistency, kindness, and sincerity. We often underestimate the quiet impact of our lives. We assume that only extraordinary people leave a mark, but the truth is this: every life influences the world around it in ways we may never fully see. Every act of dedication, every moment of courage, every spark of kindness leaves a trace behind. Phillip Hughes left such traces through his teammates, through young fans who looked up to him, through his family, and through every individual who felt the weight of his departure. Today serves as a call to honor such legacies, not only by remembering the person, but by embracing the values they embodied. It is also a reminder to cherish the present. We live in a culture that constantly pushes us toward the next thing, the next achievement, the next milestone. But life is lived here in the moments we often rush past. The simplicity of conversation, the joy of companionship, the quiet satisfaction of honest work, the gentle warmth of daily routines, these are the spaces where life breathes. When we lose someone unexpectedly, we begin to understand how fragile these everyday gifts are, and perhaps that understanding can lead us to live with more gratitude. Gratitude for the people who stand beside us. Gratitude for the opportunities we have. Gratitude for the time still available to us, time that we must use wisely, not wastefully. Intentionally, not carelessly. Another lesson this day brings is the value of unity. The cricketing world, in the wake of the tragedy, responded with unprecedented solidarity. Rivals stood together, opponents embraced, commentators, fans, coaches, everyone adopted a tone of reverence. It was a powerful reminder that beyond competition, beyond fame, beyond national colors, we are human first. Thanks for watching. Unity is often born from shared grief, but it shouldn't be limited to it. If loss can bring us together, perhaps gratitude can keep us together. If sorrow teaches us to value one another, perhaps appreciation can strengthen that lesson. We must also acknowledge the courage of those who carried on after the tragedy, the players who returned to the field, the teammates who fought through emotional pain, and the individuals who gathered the strength to move forward. Their resilience showed the world that while grief is real, it does not have to define us. It showed that honoring someone's memory includes continuing the journey, not abandoning it. To dedicate this speech today is to honor not only Phillip Hughes, but also the countless individuals who face life's uncertainties with courage. It is to recognize athletes, workers, families, students, teachers, everyone who understands that life is unpredictable but continues to give their best anyway. A meaningful dedication is not simply the recounting of a life, it is the commitment to carry forward its lessons. And so, what should we carry forward from this day? Carry forward the seriousness of purpose. Whatever you pursue, pursue it sincerely. Whether your arena is a field, a classroom, an office, or a home, give your best. Excellence is not about recognition. It is about integrity. Carry forward humility. Philip was known for his modest nature. He worked without bragging, performed without boasting, and carried himself with quiet dignity. Humility gives depth to talent and beauty to success. Carry forward gratitude. Life owes us nothing. Each day is an unearned opportunity. Let us not wait for tragedy to remind us of its value. Carry forward compassion. Check on your teammates, your colleagues, your friends, your family. Life is unpredictable. Let no kindness be left unsaid, no appreciation left unexpressed. Carry forward resilience. Even in sorrow, life asks us to continue, not by forgetting, but by honoring. Not by ignoring the pain, but by standing with strength. As we dedicate this day, let us not frame it only as a day of darkness, but as a day of recognition, a day that opens our eyes to truths we often ignore, a day that invites us to become better human beings. If there is one message this date leaves with us, it is this: life is precious, and because it is precious, we must live it with purpose. Not in haste, not in pride, not in neglect, but with presence, honesty, and intention. Phillip Hughes' journey was brief, but it was meaningful, and that is the essence of a life well lived. Today we remember, but more importantly, today we learn, we grow, we commit, we honor, and may every 27th of November remind us to live, not merely exist. To appreciate, not overlook, to give, not postpone. This is our dedication. This is our reflection. This is our reminder of the weight, the beauty, and the fragility of life. Thank you for listening.